I'm having nightmares right now.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses, big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bed Bath & Beyond. Nothing says football like scented soap.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
It just feels so good knowing that the football season for the National Football League got underway last night, and there's more to come, including your Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday. And I tell you what, we're fired up. We're up here in beautiful Nassau County, Mocama Beer Company, and they will be set up today, tomorrow, and Sunday as they look forward to the kickoff to the NFL weekend with all sorts of great craft. And Mocama Beer Company, always inviting when we come in. But you people in the Dina, you people in Nassau County, you know it. You can find them right here on South 8th Street. You can find them over in Wildlight, and they are set up. And we saw it earlier, the kitchen added to the brew here at Mocama Beer Company, which is great. All right, you fellas ready to rock? Are we ready to rock?
Yeah, I mean, I just got off one of the most underrated drives, maybe the most underrated drive in the state of Florida, First Coast Highway.
Yeah, it's
you can't get better than that, man.
And look, I don't want to go after the highway. What is it? Highway 200. Coming in from 95,
right?
But if I can avoid that bad boy, I will avoid it all day.
Costs. I told you, take extra. That's the
place to go, bro.
Oh, you took it?
Yeah, First Coast Highway, bro.
Yeah, you get to see the water, the beautiful homes, all that kind of nice little restaurants off on the side. Yeah. I ain't gonna say anything, but somebody wanted to take 95, and I talked about it.
Oh, so you did go 95?
No, someone wanted to take 95. I said, no, let's go down extra.
All right, thank goodness. Now listen, we got Jaguar fans that are fired up and ready to go. We're gonna talk a lot of Jaguars, Dolphins today. You guys can definitely hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. Do you smell a dub? Do you think they're going to struggle? Is it going to be a blowout? Is it going to be a close one? We put it out on X. You can go at 1010XL Joe C. And, of course, Leon and Matt, both with their handles at Leon Searcy Jr. 1, at Matt Hayes CFB. And you can vote on whether you think it is going to be a close game with a Jaguars win, or do the Dolphins cover, or does Trevor have a big day, or do you have to lick your wounds and come back with an L? So start thinking about that, and you guys vote on X, and obviously you can join in here, either watching on YouTube, where you can throw a comment in the chat, or you can get on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. But last night, let's at least start there as we set up our show, because I told Helmets and Heels that you guys know I picked the Ravens to make it to the Super Bowl, playing the Detroit Lions, my Honolulu Blue Lions. And last night, it was good, it was bad, it was good, it was bad. They were never out of this bad boy, but in the end, a great play was negated by a big toe.
It was a great game. I mean, listen, these two teams are going to probably see each other again somewhere down the road in the playoffs, because they're that good. And I was rooting for Lamar because, I mean, listen, Patrick Mahomes is his kryptonite, right? He's what? He's 1-5 against Patrick Mahomes,
is that right?
something like that, some crazy number like that. But for all the good that Lamar Jackson is, it's still at the big moments where he misses the passes that he has to make. I love Lamar. I gave him an L Boogie. I was saying L Boogie all last night because he ran the ball about 16 times, over 120 yards. I mean, but at crucial moments and at crucial times, you can't miss on plays with Patrick Mahomes, because he will dagger you in the end. He missed a couple of plays, the pass to the corner of the end zone. He missed that one. Then another one where he missed Flowers, who was sitting right there in the back of the end zone. He threw it over the top. And then, likely just, them size 13s need to be 12.5s because he was a toe tap away from getting
barely.
Yes.
A whiff of a toe tap away.
It was a whiff of a toe tap away.
But I will say this, though. I mean, honestly.
The officials gave him the touchdown.
Initially,
I will say this. You say he'll dagger you. Mahomes did dagger him.
Yes.
But for a phantom hold call, he daggered him on that scramble. That was unreal. He does it every time. If it's not his arms, he does it. What do you call it? The run into the bathroom scramble?
Yeah.
Looks like he's running in the bathroom.
He gets, you see that sign that says next rest area 38 miles.
Right.
And you blew it. You didn't go to the bathroom.
Right.
You pull off 38 miles. You get out and you run as fast as you can to that
But he finds a way to dagger you, man.
Absolutely.
And he did. He daggered them. It was over. And then they got the call, and that helped them.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I didn't understand when I'm watching them. When they were within the 10-yard line, whoever the protection slid to the left, right?
Right.
They left Chris Jones on the running back on 2 occasions. I was like, what the hell are you doing right now? Why are you sliding the protection away from Chris Jones and having the back on the backside of him? I just thought he was just going to ram
now, but don't you think there were times at least they moved him in the direction they wanted to move him?
Well, defensively, yeah, of course, if they saw that they were sliding the protection to his side to maybe get him on a double team, Spagnuolo said, hey, listen, you know what? If they're going to do that to my guy, we're going to put him on the end and force y'all to block him on the end. So, yeah, absolutely.
I tell you what, it really had a lot of good things, and now you start to look at your Jaguars and can they do the same thing? But the problems that Kansas City creates on both sides of the ball, and this is the Steve Spagnuolo credit that needs to be given to him, along with Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes. And then what did they do? They go and they draft Xworthy. He was responsible for 2 over 20-yard touchdown plays last night. So let's get to the Jags. Let's spend some time on them more than that game last night. But it was a dandy to open up our NFL season, that's for sure. Tonight you've got Packers and Eagles in São Paulo, Brazil. Which by the way,
my Packers, Joe.
Yeah, your Packers.
That, right?
Yeah, your Packers.
Your Packers, yeah.
And they are, I believe, a 2.5-point dog in this game tonight. So we'll definitely dig into that one as well. But let's just at least set the table for the Jags. We've talked a lot about how we think this game's going to go. You guys can hit the text line and give us just an idea of how you think this game is going to go. So I did my preview this morning, and you go to social and you can find it either on X or Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever. But the one thing that jumped out at me, Leon, and I'm just looking at it, okay, it is hard to get away from what the cheetah represents. He had himself a year last year. There's no doubt about that. But he had 119 catches, nearly 1,800 yards, and 13 touchdowns. He is a problem. Meanwhile, Jalen Waddle went over 1,000 yards receiving. Raheem Mostert over, 18 touchdowns from him and over 1,000 yards rushing. And then throw A-Chain into the equation. There are a lot of guys that you got to account for.
Yeah, it's a track meet, bro. It's a 4x100 relay, and they passing the baton. Everybody gets the baton. Everybody's scoring points. Everybody's getting passes. The key, my assessment of the Miami Dolphins offensively, you got to take away the yak yardage, the yards after the catch. I don't know how dynamic they are as far as catching the ball and getting the yak yardage, but you can't have Tyreek catch a 10-yard slant and turn it into 50 yards. Yeah. Those type of plays, you can't allow that, and it's going to be incumbent upon Nielsen to make sure everything about this game is about putting pressure on Tua and also tackling. You got to be able to tackle, especially within the frames of the coverage. You can't have any breakdowns in coverage. You can't let them get outside it. When they make the catch, if they do, you got to tackle and eliminate the big plays on offense.
Let me just translate what you just said very briefly, if I may.
Yeah.
They got to be completely different than what they were last year on defense.
Oh, absolutely.
That's pretty much what it is.
On both sides.
Because more so on defense than offense. I mean, they couldn't tackle. They took bad angles. They didn't pursue. They didn't have enough big plays. They didn't get turnovers. That's 5 things right there.
Yeah, it is.
That's enough to kill you right there. So you do all that against the Dolphins, you're going to get a 40-burger hung on you. So they can't go down there and not get pressure. They can't go down there and tackle poorly, or they will not be in that game. And it will be early they will not be in that game.
Yeah, and the thing I like about Ryan Nielsen, at the very least what we've seen so far, is that this guy is going to scheme it up. He's going to put a lot of guys in different positions, coming from different angles, trying to attack the quarterback, make him at least pause for just a split second, a little more time for them to get to him. And that obviously has to happen. You have to have a healthy Eric Armstead. And we don't know whether he's going to be a healthy and 100% interior defensive lineman. We don't know what he's going to be.
Haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. And we don't know how they're going to try and use him off the edge as well to maybe turn him loose and maybe affect Tua. But know this, they were first, the Dolphins, last year in yards per game and second in points per game. So they scored a ton, to Matt's point. But this team needs to, at least they look like, they need to be a better tackling team, and they look like they are a little bit right now from what we've seen in preseason, the 2 games that we got to sample from them. They look like they're a better tackling team. They're a little more physical. They still need to prove that they can be beefy interior.
They got to pursue, man. They need multiple guys around the ball. I didn't see it. Did you see that last year, Leon?
Not at all.
Were they a team
especially
that
down
pursued?
the stretch.
Yeah. They got to. I mean, you know when the defense is playing well. You know when they're dialed in, because you've got multiple guys right where the play is, and they are pursuing. And That's something that I think was a big flaw in this defense last year.
Yeah.
You know what scares the hell out of me is the fact that if you put the Dolphins in a third and medium or a long situation, if we can't get home with 4, if we blitz, if we bring in 5 and 6 guys and don't get home, I just see trouble. I just see trouble brewing.
Yeah.
For real. I mean, because if we can get pressure with 4 in third down situations, medium to long situations, now we can cover a little better. We can cover the short end, the back end, the long stuff, or whatever. But if we try to, if we're not getting home with 4 and we bring 5 and 6 guys, you're giving those speedsters the opportunity to get one-on-one man coverage and one-on-one with those guys.
You might be able to get away with 5. Might be able to get away with 5.
But I don't trust 6.
No,
I don't trust 6.
No. The worst thing is to send more than 4 and not get home.
Oh, my goodness.
And then get blocked up, and every single time you're sending somebody extra, obviously you're vulnerable behind that extra guy that's sent, and then they never get home. Here's one off the text line. Obvious passing situations. Allen Walker's going to be out there, but I worry about when they're off the field, that lack of pressure. If we can't get any pressure with the other guys, they're going to kill us, and you're going to give basically when those guys are off the field, they're going to tee off. So that's it. There has to be answers from Trent Baalke and this offseason to prove that they have a better defense behind Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker.
Yeah, those guys can't be on the field for 70 plays, man.
No.
They got to come off every once in a while.
No.
That's the issue. What happens when they come off?
Well, here's the thing. They don't have to worry about being on the field for 70 plays if they're scoring. If they're scoring, you're talking 40, 45 plays. If they're scoring 28, 35, 40 points on us, we're talking about one hit of quitters.
Yeah. All right. So
or better yet, if the Jags are scoring 35 points, then
there you go.
You're keeping that offense off the field.
Absolutely.
All right, so the way I'm looking at this game from the other side of it is that this football team has weapons. They can come out. Jalen Ramsey did not practice again. Okay, he has a hamstring injury. I want to say there were 9 guys that were on their practice injury report from the last couple of days, and they had veterans rest for a handful of guys. But there are a lot of other guys that actually have bumps and bruises they're dealing with coming into the start of the season, including Jalen, who right now went through Wednesday without practicing, Thursday without practicing. And if the hamstring's bothering him, that's going to be a big concern. Don't think for a moment they're not going to send BTJ, Brian Thomas Jr. deep, try and test him if they can, whoever he matches up with, be it Christian Kirk or Gabe Davis, and see if they can't get physical with him if he does come out there and try and run. Everyone in Duval was asking, was it his back? Was his back hurting? No, at least for the here and now. He says it's his hamstring. But that's going to be a big liability for them on the defensive side of the ball, along with the other guys that aren't up front.
And if I'm testing him right away.
Oh, my gosh.
Absolutely, yes. I'm testing him. I mean, if he is a go and he's a little gimpy with that hamstring, I'm sending Brian Thomas right to him deep and see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, so give us your keys, 641-1010. We are hanging out, Mocama Beer Company. I am excited, first off, to taste and enjoy all the craft because you know what they've got. They just got so many different choices. They brew it right here in-house. They've got the Wildlight location as well, and you're talking Pilsners, stouts, fruited, sours, the IPAs, just on and on and on. The lagers that you love, you can enjoy all of them here at Mocama Beer Company. And they have got, I think we're going to at least start out with some flatbreads. And they said they use some of that local sausage from Duval.
Right.
And they put together they've got a soft pretzel and charcuterie plate. They got homemade sausage bites, soft, buttery puff pastry filled with locally made Azar sausage.
Look, there could be a lot worse things to do than to get on that First Coast Highway and drive and eat some of that stuff.
Yeah, let's
drink
try
some of that beer.
Let's try that, along with maybe one of those flatbreads. So Mocama, not only do they have the great beer, but they have the kitchen open as well. So make plans either come by and see us, be here later on tonight, through the weekend, and, of course, watch your Jaguar ball right here at Mocama Beer Company.
It's football all day on Pregame Friday.
Little pigskin, why not?
Get the news, notes, and inside stuff you need to get ready for game day.
It's fantastic.
Pregame Friday
Is brought to you by Dream Finders Homes and MyBookie on 1010XL.
Did you know you can charge the all-new Honda Electric Prologue in the same receptacle as your phone? You don't need any special charging stations at your home. Simply plug in your Honda or your phone. See your local Honda dealer now. We're electrified.
We're back. Mia here, and winning season is back. Football is back, and MyBookie is here to make sure you're ready to cash in on the action. This season, MyBookie is pulling out all the stops with incredible promotions, like weekly risk-free boosts on Thursdays, where you can bet without a sweat. If your bet hits, you win big. If it doesn't, forget it. MyBookie will refund your wager. That's just the beginning, folks. MyBookie is giving away hundreds of thousands in prizes with their Super, Survivor, and Squares contests. Get your entries in now for your shot at huge cash rewards. For a limited time, they are bringing back the double deposit bonus. When you're ready to get started, just use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit. You heard that right. Double your money with promo code 1010XL before you even place a bet. Not to mention, loyalty pays off with MyBookie Plus. The more you play, the more you win. Climb through tiers of loyalty rewards programs to unlock even more epic promotions. Only with MyBookie.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Former Jaguars corner and first-year head football coach at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows, K-12, Aaron Beasley here. Are you looking for an A-rated K-12 school prioritizing academics, arts, and athletics? Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a rigorous curriculum to develop strong minds with an additional focus on growing good hearts. DCSB has been an A school for 8 years, and our tuition is free. Now enrolling. Apply at baymeadowscharter.org.
Visionaries, builders, and doers, are you ready to change the world? Miller Electric is your opportunity to shape the future. Miller Electric is leading the charge in electric vehicle technology with our state-of-the-art EV Innovation Design Center. We're working to create a sustainable future. We're also the proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, powering their performance at the brand new Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric, we provide competitive pay, unbeatable benefits. Apply today. MillerCareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, David again with Royal Pest Services. TAP Insulation stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Keep your home cool, noise out, and pests dead. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free inspection.
Pre-Game Friday is brought to you by MyBookie
and Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
Jags fans, our holiday pack is back with a special edition.
Trevor Lawrence touchdown!
For the first time, get a limited edition Trevor Lawrence bobblehead plus a ticket to one of our December home games starting at $78. Wow! Whether you're looking for the perfect Christmas gift or want the one-of-a-kind bobblehead for yourself, grab a holiday pack today by going to Jaguars.com/bobblehead or call 904-633-2000 now.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes Summers here, so let's talk about something sizzling, making a Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Imagine dropping pounds while still enjoying that crisp, savory goodness. Well, it's on the menu at Awaken 180, and one of the many reasons I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180 weight loss. I did it all while still enjoying so many of my favorite foods. The difference is, my coach showed me how to enjoy those foods the right way. Chicken, steak, pork, lobster, they're all on the menu. Awaken 180 caters to any diet or taste profile. Vegetarian, vegan, omnivore, even flexitarian. I'm not kidding. That's a thing. They're all covered. The bottom line, if you want to lose weight fast and safe and keep it off with lifetime coaching, then make your own Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Do what I did, Mike Dempsey and Hacker, and more than 21,000 others online at Awaken180weightloss.com. That's Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hunters know patience is part of the game.
Just got to keep hunting.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Waltz on the Nimnicht Outdoors Show. Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
The average cost associated with childhood cancer is a startling $833,000. This is Tom Coughlin, and September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Help the J Fund raise awareness to help our neighbors and community members tackling this devastating disease. Visit tcjfund.org/September for more information.
Stop what you're
doing. Because right now, Kohl's is giving away millions in instant Kohl's Cash in stores for free. You heard that right. This weekend is their Kohl's Cash Ultimate Giveaway. Plus, get 3 days of deals in store and online. Yep, you definitely don't want to miss this. So hurry to Kohl's today, before it's too late. Kohl's Cash Giveaway valid in-store only. Redeemable only that day. Some exclusions apply while supplies last. Ends September 8th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
At Farrah & Farrah, our philosophy can be boiled down to one word: respect. Respect for every client, regardless of who they are or the size of their case. Respect for innocent victims, and respect for the law. So when the insurance company thinks they can bully you instead of paying a claim, we respectfully disagree. If you're hurt, call Farrah & Farrah. We'll help you get the respect you deserve. Call 800-500-5555. Jacksonville.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line. Hello. We can wiggle it.
Live from Okama Beer Company, hanging out in beautiful Fernandina Beach, South 8th Street, Joe C., Matt Hayes, and big Leon Searcy, as we say hello to a guy who played the game as well in Leroy Hoard, who joins us now. QAM down in Miami, but you know him as a Michigan Wolverine, as a Cleveland Brown more than anything else. Leroy, welcome in. How are you?
What's happening? Yeah, me and Big Searcy used to go at it. We weren't very good back then, but I think we lost them 3 times in 1 year.
Yeah, that is correct, Amundo.
Oh, yeah. I remember when we went to Baltimore and we played Pittsburgh. I think it was the first and second game, and every time I got tackled, they would say, "You're still Cleveland." I'm like, "Oh my goodness!"
Wow, that's brutal. Absolutely brutal. So, Leroy, hey, the Miami Dolphins, I mean, listen, this team is – I talk to them like they're like a 4x100 track meet. Everybody on that team, offensively, I mean, it's got speed. You talk about the receivers. We're talking about the tight end. We're talking about the running back. Then you add Tua with his efficiency and the yards he put up last year. I mean, are we looking to see the same thing this year? Is this offense ready to rock and roll this year as well?
And even it's going to be even better because they added Jonnu Smith. And keep in mind, last year they had hardly any completions to the tight end. So you add that dynamic, and now what are you going to do? Because if you try to play nickel or dime, and then they bring that tight end and put him on the end of the line of scrimmage and run with another track star, what do you do? So I think, yeah, it's going to be more of the same stuff. I just think it might look a little bit different because, you know, Leon, you know how offense works. We just want the defense to take one bad step. You take one bad step against that speed, and it's over. And that's where they are. They have a lot of movement. They have guys going in motion. They have guys shifting. They do all kinds of things to use that speed, but they want you to look. They don't want you to play football. They want you to look and see what we're doing, and then they run right by.
So, Leroy, that defense is really dinged up. A lot of key players just nagging injuries. What's the concern down there with the coaching staff about that defense going into this game against a Jags offense that potentially can score some points?
Yeah, and that is a concern. Jalen Phillips is going to play some, which is remarkable, coming back from that Achilles. We don't know. I don't know what the status is of Jalen Ramsey, although my co-host said he believes it had everything to do with that contract he just got, so his hammy might be okay now. So, football has changed so much. Now we have hold in. I mean, you show up so you get your money, but you don't practice. I'm not accustomed to that. I don't know nothing about that. So, hopefully he'll play. I think the most important thing, and this is both for the Jags and the Dolphins, is who can get pressure up the middle. Can the Jags get a push up the middle to get those pass rushers on the outside who are beasts, get them into the mix, and let them make some plays? Because if you can't get any push up the middle, they'll do one or two things. They'll just run it down your throat, or they'll just push you around and then throw the ball down the field. Same thing with the Dolphins. Can you get some push up the middle, give those outside guys a chance, and put some pressure on Trevor Lawrence, simply because he'll throw it to the other team if he gets antsy. And so I think both of these teams are trying to do some of the very same things. I think the Jags are going to run the hell out of the football and try to establish the run. That is a concern to me because, Leon, you'll tell them, it's almost impossible to run the ball well in preseason. Yes,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
The teams that played the Dolphins ran the ball well. And there's a couple of things you learn in camp. Your coach will tell you, if you're an offensive player, right, if you don't pick up the blitz, you're going to see it all year. And if you don't run the football, they ain't going to be scared of it. And so these are things that you're trying to accomplish in preseason. And the fact that they got gassed a little bit, keep in mind, they never play any of their starts, maybe 10 plays. So I'm going to be a little bit hesitant on it. But when I see a team get gashed in the preseason, I'm like, holy smokes, this never happened. So I'm a little worried about that. I think the Jags are going to try to run the ball, play action them, and go that route. And then the Dolphins, look, they're going to run the ball every which way you've ever seen, with sweep, with right up the middle. They're going to do all kinds of things. With 5 different people may carry the football. That's just what their offense is. But if you get that push up the middle, it eliminates a lot of that stuff.
Now, Leroy, you and I are old school, right? So it was very interesting, that story that came out about Tua and his affiliation with Coach Flores. And, I didn't know how to take that because, listen, we all had coaches that came at you sideways, just kind of to test your mantle, to see how strong you were mentally. I'd be very interested to see. What does Coach McDaniels do as far as the culture goes to where he gets his players to play for him? Because obviously Flores, according to Tua, was a malcontempt.
Well, here's the deal. My only problem with Brian Flores, I think he's an incredible coach. But my only problem I had with him is, why would you go at Tua like that when you drafted him? It's your job as a coach to get the most talent you can out of your players, right? However you do that, you got to know who you're dealing with. You got to be a people person to know who you can go after, who you have to coddle. That's one of the biggest things with coaches, right? You got to know how to handle all that, those personal relationships, and how you can get guys to be at their best. That's part of the job. Now, what Mike McDaniel did in the first phone call he made after he got the job was to Tua. And he told Tua how important he was and how much of a difference he's going to make. And guess what? Tua played like it. He went about his business that way. And so it's not a matter of whether he's a good coach, but is he a good people person? There's guys that probably like him. Like, I wouldn't have had a problem with him at all, simply because that stuff didn't bother me. Right? You got to have thin skin. But times have changed. Times have changed. And I give you this story. You remember when the Giants won the Super Bowl, and the year before they were talking about how hard Tom Coughlin was, and a bunch of players went and talked to him about maybe, hey, you're being a little ridiculous? Well,
I remember.
And then the next year they all came together and won a Super Bowl. Well, Brian Flores was a first-year coach. He didn't have those relationships yet. There weren't those veterans on the team yet. And so he had to learn that lesson on the fly. So Tua had every right to say, and you have to understand Tua makes light of everything. He doesn't go out of his way to say anything negative about somebody.
That's
so
true.
Just imagine how bad and how toxic that situation had to be for Tua to actually say the things he said.
Yep.
So whatever I think of Brian Flores, whatever I think about Tua, all I have is history here. And I have the history of how Tua has gone about his whole life in a positive, non-confrontational way, and he actually became confrontational.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Track records are resumes. That's for sure. We're talking with Leroy Hoard at Big Mouth. Leroy, you can find him WQAM down in South Florida in Miami. And what you said is unbelievable as far as, the way it was toxic. And then obviously Mike McDaniel came in and basically rescued Tua Tagovailoa in a lot of ways. So you mentioned the referendum on both of these guys, quarterbacks, be it Trevor or Tua. So the weak link, as you see it right now, Leroy, for the Jaguars defense against that high-powered octane offense, where do you think the weak link is?
I would say in the secondary, because they got to be nervous as hell right now. Because think about it, and Leon, you can attest to this. Very rarely are you in a situation where one bad step is game crucial. You can go throughout, you've gone to the sideline and coach say, hey, you had a bad set or something like this, and you can just turn it around. It may not even ended in a sack. But just imagine, every time you took a bad step, it resulted in a sack. That's hard to play with. That's a hard, because you're going to make some mistakes. So I just think secondary against this team are just put in a bad spot. And if you drop back and try to make sure nobody runs past you, you have to understand this team abuses the hell out of the middle of the field. So they'll throw it right underneath you. And now you got to tackle these fast guys. So I would say the secondary there, as far as the Dolphins, I would say the offensive line. Mm-hmm. Just a lot of uncertainty there. You got two guys with a 25 sacks, 24 sacks between them. So when you look at two Russians like that, you're dealing with some of the elite. And so you got to make sure that you are on point. Now, the one thing that helps is Tua gets rid of the ball so doggone quick. And that's the thing that goes unnoticed. They think just because he gets rid of the ball quick, he's throwing short passes. And that is not the case at all. He'll get rid of the ball quick and throw it deep.
All right. One more for you, and we know you got to get out of here. And it's a big one for you, okay? We know you're going to Ann Arbor. Your boys didn't look too good last week against Fresno State. Are you concerned a little bit? Texas rolling in. Big game, noon kick. Everybody's watching.
Yeah. I mean, Michigan at home is a 7.5-point underdog.
That's a big number.
Here's what I would say. Sarkisian has made Texas an SEC team. They're big up front, powerful, fast, in the trenches. Michigan struggled against Fresno State. And I don't want to take nothing away from Fresno State, but it's more of what I saw in Michigan. That scares the hell out of me. Because now you're dealing with them dudes up front. So I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm nervous. I'm nervous because I've seen something that I haven't seen in a few years in Michigan, and that is them getting kind of pushed around a little bit up front. And that was by Fresno State. Now you're dealing with Texas.
Good stuff, man. Listen, we appreciate it. Leroy Hoard, you can find him at WQAM down in South Florida, in Miami, at Big Mouth. Leroy, former Cleveland Brown and Michigan Wolverine. We appreciate your time. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
All right, man. And look, he laid his case out pretty well on both sides. So let's react to that. And then obviously we got to get, Texas and Michigan will be one of our picks coming up when Coach Campo
shows
up
man.
In the 3 o'clock hour. Hanging out here at Mocama Beer Company. Great setting. And the beautiful thing about it is you can come in here and you can basically attack your afternoon any way you want. If you want a flight, like I see one of our fans sampling right now, that means you can go through. And the beautiful thing about it is that you don't have to go deep. You can just sample a bunch of different ones. So I'm going to find out what that flight is, what's all in there, and then you can enjoy everything else here along with their new kitchen, Mocama Beer Company, right here on South 8th Street as you are entering the historic area. And then, of course, over in Wildlight, let's react to what Leroy Hoard said. Let's talk a little more Jaguar football as we get ready for the kickoff Sunday.
Game day hits the ground running early with news and notes, fun facts, and the names you need to know with a Terminix Kickoff Show.
Let's go!
5 hours before kickoff. Presented by Clearwater Irrigation and Gatorade on 1010XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and summer's winding down. Soon those long, lazy days will be behind us, but they've done a number on our AC system. Do what I did and call the good folks at Fenwick Home Services to stay cool and comfortable through the season and for years to come. Need a new AC? Fenwick has free same-day estimates and next-day installations on energy-efficient systems. And your new system is backed by a warranty of up to 12 years. That's right, 12 years. And their expert technicians will get the job done and get it done right the first time. Book online now at FenwickHomeservices.com.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campion. Campion Law.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect fare for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
Homeowners, good news for you. Accent on 4. Listen up. Loan Pronto now has mortgage rates that start with a 4. Prosser here. It's true. Mortgage rates have plummeted. So low, we haven't seen them in a long time. If your current rate is over 6%, you can dump it and lower your house payment big time. Loan Pronto just locked in a homeowner at 4.99% APR. So whether you got your loan last week, last month, or last year, it's time to call Loan Pronto. Even if you're in process with another lender, stop now. Call Loan Pronto. Ask about their zero-cost rate reduction home loan. You can lock in a lower rate with no closing costs in a matter of days, with almost no paperwork and usually no appraisal. And if you act now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Call now. Loan Pronto can give you a rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Call 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Owner approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 6th, Baltimore Orioles' Eddie Murray hits 500th career home run, becoming the 3rd player in Major League Baseball history to have both 500 home runs and 3,000 hits.
This right here is as good as it gets. This is life getting lived without obligations or complications. This is filling your cup and savoring the moment. This is the gift of presence, served to you in a place where there's room for everyone and enough to go around. And the best part, it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about putting your worries in the right bucket. So often we put our worries in our own bucket, but many times they need to be in God's bucket. The Bible says, present your problems always to God. In other words, leave them in God's bucket. Understand that no matter what is out of your control, it's never out of the control of Almighty God.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
Are you ready to upgrade your home? Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Andersen. Energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires September 30th and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit rbafla.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
Staying active no matter what your age is key to living life at its fullest. And Rebound Rehabilitation wants you to know they can get you back up to speed and back in the game pain-free. Rebound Rehabilitation with 8 locations across the First Coast, top-of-the-line therapists ready to assist you. From neck and back pain, knee or foot pain, they can help. Excellent patient care combined with the highest quality in rehabilitation services. Look for a Rebound Rehab location near you and get back in the game. Log on reboundrehab.com.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars first-round pick Brian Thomas Jr. will make his NFL regular season debut on Sunday in Miami. BTJ was asked in the Jaguars locker room this week about how much his confidence has grown.
I would say it's grown a lot, just the preseason, helping that out, going out there making a couple plays, being able to go up against a couple NFL DBs and stuff, NFL defense. I would say it's gained a lot.
Thomas Jr. on his level of excitement going up against the Dolphins.
It gives me a lot having all those guys, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. I mean, it gives me a lot of juice to be able to go out there and play against their team and go out there and have fun.
I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Florida Home AC Friday on XL Primetime. Hit the text line with some cool rock requests.
It's a big hair, heavy metal Friday on XL Primetime.
Hanging out at Mocama Beer Company up here in beautiful Fernandina Beach, South 8th Street. And they've got this wonderful tap room. It's an old 50s car dealership, and we are hanging out here. They've got the full kitchen opened up now. We're about to sample some flatbreads, along with some of those tremendous other menu items, charcuterie, the sausage bites. We're going to get into all that coming up, but you can definitely drop on by here, Mocama Beer Company on South 8th, or the Wildlight location. You can definitely check that out, along with this afternoon. Into the weekend, Jaguar game on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Mocama Beer Company, a great place to hang out. Guess who's hanging out with us now? Coach Campo has made it into the building. Coach, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Hey, this is a cool place. This is the second time I've been here, and and then adding a little bit of food menu to it. This place is fantastic.
Now, listen,
really.
You used to be a crooner back in the day. You see that piano over there? You go get behind. You're going to kind of touch the ivories or anything
I think
like
it
that?
says don't touch, but
I think it says don't touch.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, you definitely don't want me to touch it. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, he was just harmonized with it. That's right. That's what
I can do a little singing.
I'll bang on a couple melodies for you. We can sing for everybody. You want to do it?
Yeah, no.
All right. So listen, what you're going to sing about is the possibility of the Jaguars coming out on top. It's what we've been talking about. We talked with Leroy Hoard. Great conversation with him. You guys on the text line, I tell you what, they are super pumped. One says, hello, Primetime. The season is finally here. The regular season. Glad to be there to welcome it in with you guys. In a nutshell, the Miami part that he worries about is make sure that the aggression does not get overrun. Make sure you don't over-attack, which they want to come out of the blocks hot and try and go after Tua and Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, right?
Yeah, this is an interesting ball game because I think you got two teams that in some ways are very similar. They've got, obviously, you might say that they have a little bit of edge with explosiveness offensively with the speed that they have, but I think we have some explosiveness ourselves here with the Jaguars. So you got two offenses that really believe that they can score points against two really unknown defenses. You got two new defensive coordinators. You got we have not really seen the true Nielsen defense yet. I think we will see it this weekend with what they do with attacking protections, some of that kind of things, using the linebackers a little bit more and involved, as we've talked about in the past with the bat or whatever they call it, with where they're picking a guy and let those big outside guys get up underneath every once in a while, get on the guards, right, Leon?
Oh, absolutely.
So, I think this is going to be an interesting ball game, and we just can't get into a true track meet. We've got to put the pressure on the quarterback and make sure that he has to get rid of the ball quickly, and then we have to tackle.
Yeah, Coach. So you're in that Saturday meeting before the game, and you're a DB coach. You just laid out the blueprint on how you would play them like that. What kind of confidence would you give your secondary? Because everybody's talking about how explosive they are. I mean, what kind of confidence would you give your DBs in going into this game on Sunday?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't want them out there if they didn't have confidence. So that's number one. And I think this group has some confidence. I think they've got some guys that feel like they can handle it. Darby's played against this guy, Hill. He had 6 catches, but only 1 on him. The rest were all crossing routes, things against zone defense. So, to me, you go into the ball game saying, "Hey, look, we know we're good in the secondary. We're going to get pressure." But either way, the key is showing one thing and doing something else. If you show it too deep and then drop into a 3, or you go from 3 into a 2. Make them think about what they're going to do, whether they're going to run the football or throw the football. So for me, I'm going in, hey, we've played these guys before. We've beaten them. We beat them in London a couple years ago. Let's go play football. Just take care of your own business. Don't worry about them. Worry about yourself.
Plus, you better stay on the field offensively.
Yeah.
You better avoid 3 and outs. You better get some long drives, not only to give your defense rest, but to keep them off the field.
Absolutely.
And keep them – and, Lee and I were talking about this. When you get a lead, and you know this as a coach, suddenly there's pressure on the other team to catch up. You're chasing points now.
Right.
Chasing points is a big deal in the NFL.
Yeah.
So if you can get a lead and you can stay on the field and just methodically go down the field, your chances of winning just skyrocket, do they not?
Yeah, I think what I would like to see from our offense is this. I would like to see them be able to balance up offensively, run the football, play action pass, do some of those kind of things. I would like to see one, but controlling the football like you're talking about, but I'd like to see one pass over 25 yards in every series because that's what puts you into position to score points. But at the same time...
You mean a pass in the air, not necessarily a catch it 5 yards, run 20.
Yeah,
you want a ball thrown.
Yeah, well, I want a plus 25 gain one way or another.
Yeah. You prefer it in the air if you could.
I want big. You got to have big plays and drives.
Right.
If you go the whole time driving the football for 10, 11, 12 plays, that's one thing, but you're not going to score a lot of points. If they get some big plays and you're driving the ball 11, 12 plays, they can outscore you.
Right.
So I'd like to see at least one big play in every drive, but I'd like to see them drive the football with balance.
See, I think they got to make those. I think they got to make the throws in the air, those 20, 30-yard throws, because then those safeties aren't creeping up.
Yeah.
Then you've got a chance at least to run the ball a little bit.
Absolutely. You don't want them to be able to go with an 8-man box against base and a 7-man box against open up sets.
Yeah, and that I get. You definitely don't want to find yourself with everything going horizontal or just barely past the line of scrimmage.
Right.
Some of these defenses, obviously, coaches coached on that side of the ball his whole career. They figure you out quickly. They start walking up like Matt's describing, and all of a sudden they don't fear anything. That's why they went and drafted Brian Thomas Jr. He is the guy that is supposed to take him deep. Now, Gabe Davis, yards per catch, his average, he was in that 700-yard neighborhood and 7 touchdowns. He also had a big yards per catch count. But, yeah, Trevor has got to use the middle of the field this year, and that was something that was obviously missing last year.
Well, I think that's what, when you've got Kirk out there and Ingram, the combination of those two guys with the outside guys taking the top off every once in a while is certainly going to help them. I thought they lost the middle of the field last year when Kirk got hurt.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he was one that could run the intermediate routes, could get down the field in the middle of the field, and they lost that. And that's a big problem, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's no getting away from that part of it. That's a huge part of the recipe. Now, we've got to start looking at some of these other games. We've got picks that we're going to do coming up in just a bit, but we're going to be focused on this one. Just let's slide in just a little college. We've got Texas and Michigan. Leroy Hoard said it. You know, he's a Michigan Wolverine. He's just a little worried about what they aren't looking like early, struggling against Fresno State. Doesn't mean that that is them for 2024, but you got to believe that their head coach, the brand new one, is trying to figure out what kind of things they can do against a 7-point dog at home.
You know what I love about Leroy, and Leon can talk about this too, is when these guys get away from their school a few years removed, they see it through like a real normal lens, not the orange and green lens. You know what I mean, sirs?
Yeah.
Like they can actually
the high train, yeah.
Like they actually start to think, all right, we might have trouble this weekend. I will say this about that. That's a big number. It's a big number for Michigan at home. Their offensive line's completely rebuilt. They have a brand new receiving core. Obviously, they got a new quarterback. Donovan Edwards did not run the ball that well last week against Fresno State because they couldn't block. And again, it could just be game one, and coach will tell you the biggest jump is game 1 to game 2, and I understand all of that. But you've got a team coming in that can score points, and that has a really good defensive line. So that's my concern for Michigan. All that being said, Davis Warren will make some plays, and they'll keep it close. They're not going to lose by more than 7.5. I'll tell you that. I would definitely take that.
Well,
I'm not a betting man, but I would take those 7.5 points.
How disrespectful is that they're the reigning national champions at home and they're dogs by 7?
It's literally a completely different offense, other than Davis Warren and Loveland, the tight end. It's completely different. So if you watch that game last week, they needed a pick 6, they needed a 4th down touchdown to win the game. 23-10. They was midway through the 4th quarter, and they were fighting to win that game.
And you want to talk about a saucy, the Texas Longhorns, they haven't gone on the road too often of late as a favorite. You have to go all the way back to 2008, the last time Texas went on the road as a favorite against the top 10 team.
Saucy nugs.
So that's the difference in what Steve Sarkisian.
That's a really good.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a saucy nug.
That's a decade and a half, man. And so it's been a minute since they have been in this position. We'll find out if they can handle it. All right, let's keep it rolling into the 3 o'clock hour. Mocama Beer Company. You can definitely find them on social, Facebook, Instagram. You can see everything that they are up to. More than anything else, they're up to goodness inside with their great craft, and then also opening up the kitchen right here on South 8th Street. You got you.
And some coffee, man. Yeah. Come here and get a cappuccino.
It'll wake you up in the afternoon coffee?
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. So if we do have Mocama during the show, it'll be coffee as opposed to the craft. But you can find it here. You can find it over in Wildlight. And as Coach drove by that way, didn't you? You drove right past Wildlight. Yeah, because you came 95 all the way up.
I had no choice. I was a little late.
Yeah,
I made a bad decision.
And you had to boogie,
I should have just taken Herkshire.
We have our Jaguar fans back here. We can't dog Nassau too much. They'll be honest, okay? They'll be honest. All right, so you can drop on by South 8th, of course. Anytime you're out and about, you can sample both places. Mocama Beer Company. You can log on, mocama.com. So let's get into the 3 o'clock hour. We just barely touched on some college ball, but we will definitely stay on your Jaguars and the Fins. Kickoff. Right here, you're going to hear it on the flagship home Sunday with our kickoff show beginning at 8 a.m.
XL Primetime's Coach Dave Campo is brought to you by Bold City Heating and Air. Online at boldcityac.com. Every NFL Sunday starts with a kickoff.
All you got to do is put your foot right through the ball.
After the game, we'll crown the special teams player of the game.
He is a difference maker now.
Brought to you by Crown Royal.
This is the last play of the game.
On 1010 XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida, and don't let the state decide your fate.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Hey, this is Bert Cannon with the First Coast YMCA. Youth sports at the Y can help nurture your future athlete's potential and experience the joy of being a kid. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, and fun environment with basketball, soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, elite skills training, and more. Best of all, participation in Legacy Youth Sports League is free with your family membership. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
Universal Roof and Contracting has been protecting Florida homes from the elements for over 30 years. Call Universal Roof and Contracting today for a free roof inspection and get 15% off your roof repair or replacement. Plus, flexible financing options and payments as low as $115 a month. This offer expires September 30th. Call 855-ROOF-HELP.
License number CCC 1330747, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Aren't you just happy when you can handle all your needs in one location? Well, introducing Allstate agent Mandy Bowers in Mandarin. Whether it's home, life, business, or auto, Mandy covers it all. In fact, bundling policy is a great way to add extra savings. Mandy and her crew can do that. Allstate is offering lower auto insurance rates this year. Mandy can do that. You need to give Mandy Bowers a call in her Mandarin office, because when it comes to getting it all done under one roof, Mandy can do that.
1010XL is the home of Gator Nation and the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. I'm Hacker, and we keep you connected with the University of Florida all year long. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a dust bunny breeder from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Steve Johnson. Welcome to the show, Steve.
It's great to be here, Alex.
Yeah, you don't have to answer in the form of a question, Steve.
What is this game show?
See, that's another question.
Are you going to ask me about air conditioners?
Yeah, okay. How about we just send the Bueller guys over and you can annoy them with all your questions. Johnny?
That's right, Steve. Bueller Air and Plumbing can answer all your air conditioning questions, repair options, replacement models, and how to make your AC last longer while saving electricity, making sure you are cool.
Where is the parking lot?
You're killing me, Steve.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hey, Hickett here. I want to talk skin along with my friends at Beaches Dermatology, reminding you to wear your sunscreen. Football season is back, baby. And with that, days under that bright sun. So when you load up that truck for the game day tailgate, or the chairs for your kids' flag games, or even the boat heading downtown to watch our Jags, make sure you bring the screen. Sunscreen, that is. It's a must here in Duval. But if you have any concerns right now, give Beaches Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
Joe C. for the Preferred Group, Preferred Roofing, Preferred Builders, a full staff of professionals that have been in this Jacksonville community for a long, long time, and they're ready to answer all those questions. And you know what it's like when you're making big decisions. Well, they can be pricey, but you also want to make sure that you get with the people that can take care of you and deliver on what you're paying for. So if you're thinking about a brand new home, a remodel, addition, you want to look around, it could be commercial or residential, you can trust Preferred Builders. Log on, preferredbuildersjacks.com, and don't forget, if you need a roof, you definitely need to check out preferredroofingjacks.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
15,000 workers. I'm Brian Rose from Remedy Staffing. We survey 15,000 blue-collar workers each year to better understand what drives quality and dependability in our workforce. The survey shows when looking for a new job, the initial pay rate, job security, and safety while working are the most important factors for hourly workers. If you're an employer and would like to learn more about the voice of the blue-collar worker, please call us at 904-528-1933.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update, brought to you by Advanced Business Solutions. High school football is in full speed tonight as one of the best matchups takes place, with Bulls traveling to St. Augustine to take on the Yellow Jackets. The Bulldogs currently lead the all-time series 12-11. They'll kick off at 7 o'clock. You can hear the game live on 1010 a.m. Also on the road, the Bishop Kenny Crusaders go up against Decoy Creek, looking to keep their momentum going after having back-to-back dominating performances to start the season. Quarterback Derek Heidemann is now averaging an impressive 3.5 passing touchdowns per game. Catch the game live on 92.5 FM at 7 o'clock. Up in Kentucky, the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp fall again to Louisville in Game 3 of their 6-game series last night, 6-5. With Louisville now up in the series 2-1, they'll battle it out in Game 4 tonight at 7:15. It's 86 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a big hair, heavy metal Friday on XL Primetime.
We are hanging out, Mocama Beer Company, a great host to us every time we come up to the Fernandina Beach right here as you enter the historic area on South 8th Street. And I tell you what, history's been made here because they brought in the kitchen along with the craft. They got the big brew house right behind where all the taps are, and they're making all their creations. And they got a lot of different ones that you can sample via the flight or however you choose to do it. But then they brought out the flatbreads. And if you're on YouTube, you can just show that one basket right there. Oh, yeah, let me see that. I want that. But hold that up, Big Sirs. Actually, yeah, that way they can at least see that on YouTube. And we're talking flatbreads.
Just get on Hexer and come up here, man.
My God. Come on up here. This is delicious.
Yeah. And so, and then the flights, and by the way, we're celebrating a couple birthdays here. Can we say that out loud? Yeah. Brendan's celebrating a birthday. Maddie's celebrating a birthday. Brendan's getting her day started quicker than Maddie is, but got with her flight, the Cosmico IPA, the Coconut Cosmico IPA, the Session IPA. Those are all smart choices, by the way. And then the Festbite Lager. So you've just got all sorts of different flavors, and she's enjoying it.
She's feeling
it,
right. We still got the college football show coming up in 6 to 7
That's
tonight,
right.
So
That's right.
After that, then I'll be feeling it.
Then you got to be on point from 6 to 7.
Right.
That's for sure. But you all know this, and I like to hear from my guys, Viper and everybody else that's here in Nassau County that come by and support what goes on here. It definitely is a cool place. And then, of course, Wildlight, you can do that as well. All right, so we got Coach Campo hanging out with us. We're going to spend the last hour talking mostly about the Jags and Dolphins. We got to look at a handful of other games. Got our picks to do. I'm gonna set the table just with the picks here just for 1 second.
Do we have to go over what happened last week?
Yeah, I'm just gonna at least set the table with that part of it. Okay. So we just mentioned that Maddie's celebrating his birthday, and so you and I, as we celebrate this birthday, okay, Coach and Big Sirs both went 3-3.
We did.
And then, so they went 3-3. And then Maddie and I went 1-5.
I can't start this way again.
Hit in the stomach on that one.
Because I was the champ in 22. The champ is here. 23, I went all the way down to rock bottom.
Listen, I always say
I can't start down again.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
I know.
I tried to tell you.
And now who's wearing the crown right now?
Yeah.
Well, it's early.
You were a two-time champ.
I'm a two-time champ.
And I think, I don't know if I ever held the crown. I know I was a runner-up. And then Mia had the title last year.
I think Mia won it. Yeah, you're right.
So now the XLP title is up for grabs, and Coach is coming after.
Listen, I was the Jaguar of last year. I started out really strong and really took a dive at the end of the year. So
you were eating asphalt at the end.
I was absolutely.
So we got, and I'll just lay some of the games out that we've got, just so you guys can be thinking about it. But we got tonight's game. We got Houston and Indy. That's an AFC South tilt. We got Dallas and Cleveland. That's Dak versus Deshaun. And then we have got Colorado, Nebraska, the Battle of Iowa, and then Texas. And we need to check that line one more time from hardrock.bet. RJ, get on those lines
7 and a hook,
at Hard Rock and just make sure, because it's either 7 or 7.5 when it comes to Michigan. So we will get into that coming up. All right, so we talked a little bit about both weapons, both sets of weapons, arsenals, if you will, when it comes to what the Jaguars bring to the table and what Miami brings to the table. And I think, fellas, at the very least, Leon, there's a chance that this team has got weapons that are close. Now, they ain't going to rival them just yet when it comes to that receiving core. But they've got a tight end, 3 receivers that are all capable, and now maybe Tank in the backfield to go along with ETN. That's a good group.
Oh, absolutely. I like what Coach said. He said that if those guys aren't confident, I don't want them out there. And the same thing applies to the Jaguars. Everybody's talking, all the mainstays about what the Dolphins have, how explosive they are. Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Man, we got weapons too. You know, we get a healthy Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, Evan Ingram, those type of guys. Brian Thomas. I mean, Brian Thomas he's still the unknown. I'll be very interested to see how he plays on Sunday. If he can take the top off the defense for he can't be a decoy. He's got to be a guy that's got to make some catches, all right? Put some pressure on that secondary, open up that middle of the field. But it's all going to be encompassed upon the offensive line. They got to play well. They've got to play well.
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line.
I mean,
do I need to
say it? I ain't feeling it, bro.
They got to play well. I mean, if you watched that game last night, you watched that game, the first series, the first drive, 3 illegal procedures. And you know what that is? That's just a lack of discipline. Because Coach will tell you, you work on solid count all the week long, all right? And the reason why they were calling illegal procedures on both of the tackles is because, listen, it's loud. You're trying to get a little deeper because, you got to look in at the ball and it's your defender. All they had to do was just lean their body forward. Yeah, that's all they had to do. They were too upright. And I'm saying to myself, y'all don't practice this? You don't practice
this?
And
they made that an emphasis, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't practice this. That's the problem. If both of those guys were upright during that game, that lets me know that they don't practice it enough. Because on solid count, the first thing you're taught is your head's got to hit the butt of the center. And how you do that is by just leaning forward, because you got to look at the ball, you got to look at the defender, and then you got to get out your stance. They were standing upright. I said, no wonder.
But to be fair to those dudes, they're also staring down the barrel at Chris Jones too.
Yeah.
Man, the hell with Chris Jones. You don't think about that.
Okay, but here's the other thing, sir. And I just think they kind of got hosed by the officials, because the officials said we're going to make this a point of. In other words, we're going to enforce this more than we have. We've warned everybody. All this BS, and I look and I see the exact same stance from Jawan Taylor and from the rookie wearing the Kansas City Chiefs uniform.
Jawan Taylor throughout the whole game was teetering on being offside, and they let it fly.
I don't know why you guys are all on him, man. Why?
Because it was total BS.
Bro, come on now. Bro,
if they let you get away with it, why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah, they let you get away with it at home.
My point is, read the lips of John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh kept looking at those refs and goes, that is BS. Yeah. And he dropped a few foxtrots on him, too, because he basically said, this ain't right. You're calling it on my guys. You ain't calling it on their guys. They got Juwan. I think they might have gotten him once in the first half. And that was it. And it was just ridiculous that they did it that. And look, there were a couple of other ones. Lamar got harassed in the backfield, 100% helmet to helmet. They barely get to Pat Mahomes, personal foul. I mean, it's just.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
listen. Stop it.
I had money on it. All right, so
Of course you did.
It's
I don't get the Juwan Taylor hate. He's a
legit.
good player. He's a good player.
He's solid.
He's better than solid. He's a good player.
He's a good player.
Yeah, I think he's a good
Let me
player.
put it to you this way. If this team had signed him for $80 million.
That's a lot of money. There's no doubt. That's a lot of money.
If this team had signed him for $80 million and you saw him make lead the league in penalties, you, me, all of us would be hammering the hell out of him.
I don't disagree. That's a lot of money, but he's a good player, man.
But look, just take a look. You want to know why he looks like a good player? Is because Pat Mahomes can manufacture moments. He gets out of bad situations. Let's go back to what we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
Trevor's got to manufacture moments. Lamar also had a rookie out there. They replaced the right tackle early in the game, and he dang sure had to improvise. And
That's what we've been saying about Trevor. I mean, Trevor has got to be elite in spite of. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, listen, first of all, the Chiefs' interior three are probably the best in the NFL, all right? Issues at left, issues at right. But in spite of, Lamar Jackson, he was dealing with three new starters up front. And they struggled. Chris Jones gave them fits the whole game.
That's a two-time MVP. Bro.
Absolutely. Yeah. But what I'm saying is he rose to the occasion in spite of. We got to have the same thing for Trevor.
Okay, by the way, while we're naming him two-time MVP, did you see him miss two passes dead red in the end zone that would have tied up the ball game?
Correct.
And we're talking back-to-back plays.
Did you see everything else he did to put them in position to be there?
Oh, yeah, but back-to-back plays. Zay Flowers, who had himself a hell of a game, he sees that ball whip past him 5 yards or at least 3 yards offline.
I mean, without El Boogie, if Baker Mayfield's their quarterback, they lose by 30 in that game.
Totally get it, but we all know in the moment, time to win, you got to make that play.
Yeah, you got to make that play.
Let me piggyback a little bit on what Leon said with the offensive lines. You know, I mentioned earlier that I thought that they were similar teams that are playing this weekend with the explosive offense against unknown defense.
Right.
Well, the other thing that makes them fairly similar is the concerns of both teams are exactly the same. The offensive lines, especially the interior three, their guys haven't practiced very much. They're got some guys inside. The center's been hurt.
Right.
You know, you look at those guys, our interior three offensive line and their interior offensive line are going to be an issue during the ball game.
So here it is right now, Coach. Tron Armstead is going to start at left tackle.
Hasn't practiced hardly at all the whole preseason.
We know he's a concern, just health-wise. Concern for them, not a concern for the Jags. Robert Jones, Aaron Brewer is in, Liam Eichenberg is in, and then Austin Jackson on the right side. That's doable when it comes to this defensive front. They need to create pressure on that line.
And that's what we're talking about, putting pressure on the quarterback. And the one thing that is difficult with this team is that they have so much speed with their group and they rely so much on run after catch that the quarterback doesn't have to hold the ball very long. You know, he can get the ball to these guys. But you got a tougher time. He's not a big, tall guy. If you get pressure in the middle, that's going to impede the whole thing. And that's why, and hands up. And that's why I see a little bit more linebacker picking the outside guy. Give those our outside rushers a chance to get in on the inside.
Plus because he's not breaking outside and getting 12 yards in a scramble.
Correct.
It's not who he is.
Correct. There you go.
And that's a 6'7" Armstead and a 6'7" Mason Smith if he comes in rotation. Those are big boys along with the 6'5" Trayvon.
Yep. So I think really the offensive line play on both sides is going to be critical one way or both ways.
I want to ask you, when it comes to the defensive coordinator and you know that you got a left-handed quarterback, all right, do you emphasize more so the coverage is dictated on the left side because you know he has more of a tendency to throw to his left than maybe to his right?
Oh, absolutely. If that's the case.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't studied Miami enough to know necessarily if he has a tendency one way or the other. But those are the things you're looking at the whole off season. You're looking at, things that you can take advantage of with what they do, and it's the same thing. And that's why this is a little bit of they have been able to look at Nielsen for since he was hired, with Atlanta. We don't know what Weaver's going to do.
Right.
Even though we have an idea because he's going to run basically as a first-time coordinator, just like we saw from our guy last 2 years. He's going to run things that he's familiar with. So you look at Baltimore and you say, okay, they're going to do this or that or the other, but you really don't know what you're facing when you hit those two guys.
You know what's funny is in college, Tua had the reputation of being a mid-right guy. Everything he threw was mid-right.
Mid-right.
But it's then you think of that Devontae Smith throw when he was a freshman. That was left.
Yeah.
So I mean, he can throw it wherever.
Yeah.
But to your point, Leland, I think you got to game plan the guy, which is what they'll do.
Well, what you're saying is you want to push him one way or another if he has to get out of the pocket.
Right. If he's not good
if he's not quite as good throwing on the run to his left, then you want to push him to the right. Or left or whatever, whichever one's the worst part of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Steph Curry, you want to move him to the left instead of the right. No, wait a minute. He's going to hit it from everywhere. That doesn't matter.
Well, you ever watch? You guys watch any of the WNBA? Well, you don't want Clark going left.
Yeah.
You want her going right to take those 3-point shots because when she goes to the left, she's about 90% on a 3-point shot.
Yeah.
So, and the right, she's about 70. So.
Yeah, right. You've got to take a little bit of the edge off.
Make you pay somehow. All right, listen, we're going to start making some picks, college and pro, coming up here in just a second. Don't forget, you can vote on X at 1010XL Joe C. Just go and vote on who you like for this game. I got the Jaguars by a field goal. Dolphins cover -3.5. Trevor goes off big, or it's a lick your wounds loss. So go to X and vote and let us know what you think about that. So let's get these picks going. Mocama Beer Company, we are hanging out here on beautiful South 8th Street in Fernandina, and they're holding off the rain. I told Ernest, I said, look, we need a good forecast so we can come up here and we can enjoy, and you've got it right now. Just a nice little cloud cover, little breeze.
Nothing wrong with cloud cover.
Temperature dropping into the mid-80s. And tell you what, mid-80s, cool this time of year right now. It is XL Primetime.
Can you make picks like a pro? Yes! The 10-10 Weekly Pick'em Contest is brought to you by MyBookie. Make the best picks and win a pizza party from Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park.
Are we doing this?
You pick 'em at 1010XL.com.
Nimnick Chevrolet is Northeast Florida's Silverado truck headquarters. Frank Frangie here. With new shipments arriving daily, Nimnick Chevrolet has the best selection of Silverado trucks on the ground in town. Nimnick Chevrolet is conveniently located on the corner of Park and Cassett Avenue or online at nimnickchevy.com. Nimnick Chevrolet is family owned and operated. No one cares more about their customers before and after the sale. That's Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
I'm Chris Campione. In a world of big box law firms with satellite offices, there's something special about having a local legal team that cares about you and your community. We're not just lawyers, we're your neighbors. We understand the unique challenges facing the Jacksonville community because we live here too. At Campione Law, Campione Cares isn't just a tagline, it's our commitment to you. Campione Law, your trusted lawyers after an accident. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
Raise the stakes on excitement at Best Bet, your go-to spot for unbeatable entertainment and unmatched hospitality. With locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the brand new Best Bet St. Augustine. No poker expertise? No problem. From high-stakes poker to casual games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em and Fortune Pie Gow, there's a game for everyone. Hungry for more? We're serving up delicious bites and craft cocktails, and we're open late. For details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com. Best Bet, your go-to spot for a thrilling night.
Bold City Brewery invites you to celebrate Dubs and Duval all season long with a cold pint. Enjoy all their beer, seltzer, ciders by logging on to boldcitybrewery.com. Head to the production house on Roselle Street in Riverside or Bold City downtown and be bold.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Call State Farm agent Ron McCann in Orange Park at 269-1313.
Get this thing unwrapped here.
Praz, boss. What in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right. Dan, I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Dailies Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Dailies Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Dailies Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Dailies Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
When the sun goes down, you might think a golf course shuts down, but not at the Golf Club of Southampton. Join the gang every Thursday night for trivia with Brooke and Jason, and everybody's favorite night, Friday night on the patio, featuring local musicians, food, and drink. It's all at the Golf Club of Southampton. Great golf. You've come to expect that. But don't forget, when night falls, the fun doesn't stop. Trivia every Thursday night and Southampton's live music patio session Fridays. Call 287-PLAY to make a tee time and the good time.
Former Jaguars corner and first-year head football coach at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows, K-12, Aaron Beasley here. Are you looking for an A-rated K-12 school prioritizing academics, arts, and athletics? Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a rigorous curriculum to develop strong minds with an additional focus on growing good hearts. DCSB has been an A school for 8 years, and our tuition is free. Now enrolling. Apply at baymeadowscharter.org.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser share the huddle with Freddie T.
Bring it in.
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins.
Fred Taylor, he's a candidate to go the distance.
On 1010 XL.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Here's Ben and John Lupo, owners of Beards Diamonds.
It's funny, my dad has sold people engagement rings, and now I'm selling their kids engagement rings and anniversary gifts and birthday gifts.
We're blessed with the relationships we've built over the years.
Check out our full inventory at beardsdiamonds.com.
Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a big hair, heavy metal Friday on XL Primetime.
All right. Here we go. Mocama Beer Company Monday. What did I just do? I just went Mocama Beer Company Monday.
Right, I was going to say something crazy happened because I messed up,
but you're messed
full weekend
up.
of games I missed.
It is so easy to say it because it rolls off the tongue because we have been happy to have Mocama on Mondays. But since we had Labor Day this weekend, it was a great opportunity to come up here on a Friday. And you can enjoy coffee every day of the week and then craft Tuesday through Sunday. So we did pick the perfect time to drop on by as we are hanging out. South 8th Street in Fernandina, and then, of course, the Wildlight location. And we know all you Nassau, you Dirty Dinas support both of them. But if you're coming up, you're vacationing, just look for both of these. Punch up Mocama if you are coming into town. All right, so now we're going to go college football first. And we're going to make our picks and break it down. Coach and Leon start the year 3-3. Maddie and I start the year 1-5. Which is no bueno.
It's just 1 week. That's all it is.
Yeah. No, and look, I always feel like you got
back on the horse.
I like to give my head start, but I don't like that. don't like that we gave them a head start at all. All right, so here are week 2 picks, and we're going to go with college first, and you've got Colorado versus Nebraska, and we will let Leon and Coach lead us off as they start out with the upper hand. Who you like in this game, Leon?
I'm going to let Coach go first.
Oh, okay.
Wait, first off, before we go any further.
Is that because I'm old? Or
No,
is that,
that's disrespect. That's disrespect.
What music are we listening to right now? RJ, I don't know what you're doing right now, but this is not our college music, okay?
Well, he can come in with any college music, especially with the Miss Universe.
Thank you, RJ. Thank you, my man.
All right, now we got it.
All
now
right.
we got it.
All
All
right.
right, so a 7.5 point line. Nebraska is favored against Colorado.
I'm taking Nebraska. Colorado hasn't proven to me. They got some outstanding players, but they haven't proved to me as a team that they can handle the big time.
Yeah, I mean, they still got issues on defense. Yeah. They absolutely got issues on defense. Stopping the run, rushing the passer, and that was against what? North Dakota State?
Good team, but
Good team.
But an FCS team.
FCS team, absolutely. Travis Hunter is
7 and a hook.
He's special. I'm going to take Nebraska, though. I got Nebraska to win.
All right, so are you going, Georgia? Go ahead.
I kind of feel like those plays that they made the other night, they just kept coming back, clawing their way in against what I thought was a good North Dakota State club. And Travis Hunter, my gosh, how much money is he going to make in the league when he comes up? There's a reason why there's. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Nebraska. I'm going to take Nebraska.
So Nebraska D, top 20 in the nation last year. Everybody's back. It's a really good defense. You've now had 8 months of this anticipation of Dylan Raiola and how this offense is going to change. And now they finally have a quarterback, and now we're going to see the resurgence of Nebraska. And it's a night game in Memorial State, and that place is going to be crazy.
Yeah,
it's going to be a very close game. And I'm going to take those 7.5 with the Buffs. I think Nebraska's going to win, but you're going to make money with those points in Colorado.
All right, so you're taking Colorado. It's not a bad way to go, honestly. Catching that extra.
There's too much. Shadur Sanders is too good for them to get blown out.
Well, Dylan Raiola, he's the first true freshman to start a quarterback at Nebraska. This is a saucy.
Since when?
Well, one other guy we know of that did it.
Tommy Frazier.
Exactly, yeah. So
there had to be some weird one in there when they were like going through quarterbacks and desperate.
Yeah, there was one guy.
Oh, Taylor Martinez did, I think.
Yeah,
no, he was a redshirt freshman.
No. It was
Adrian Martinez was the one, I think.
It was Adrian Martinez, yeah. So anyway, we're only talking about a couple of guys that have been able to do it. All right, so we've got 3 Nebraska, 1 Colorado. All right, let's get to Iowa State and Iowa. Big Search, you got to go first.
Iowa
3-point line for the Hawkeyes.
I'm going to take Iowa.
It's in Iowa City.
It's in Iowa City?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm still going to take the Hawkeyes. Okay. I got the Hawkeyes.
It's funny because one of my dudes, JD, he's a proud Iowan.
Is that right, Joe? It's in Iowa City, right?
And he texts me, and he's like, how about 40 points? And I'm like, bro, they scored more in one game than they scored all year last year. Did they use it all up? So we'll see. But you're laying a field goal and taking Iowa. You're taking the Hawkeyes.
I'm taking Iowa State. And it's only because of loyalty. Because I coached at Iowa State, I'm going with Iowa State.
There you go.
That is pretty funny because I'm sitting here and I'm like, I picked Iowa State to win the Big 12. And I don't know whether they're anywhere near what Iowa is because they've changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
With the Hawkeyes, I give them credit, but I'm going to go ahead and take the field goal.
Two really good defenses. Love Iowa State's quarterback, Rocco Becht, who is Anthony Becht's son. Iowa at home.
Yeah.
I think they cover. It's going to be really close, but I think they cover.
The field goal game. All right, so we got two on each side on that one. Texas at Michigan, and at least right now, and we're just trying to make sure we pay attention to the numbers, but it is sitting at 7 straight. It's sitting at 7 points right now.
What happened to the hook?
I don't know. Again, there's been some wagering and gambling back and forth. I'll check Hard Rock that one more time just to make sure. You check it over there. But that's the last of the college football games because I did see it at 7.5 earlier, and I'm spinning through trying to find it here real quick.
It's 7.5 on FanDuel,
it is
so we're going 7.5.
All right, so we'll go 7.5. That's fine. All right, so, Coach, who you got?
You know what? I think Texas has too much firepower for them. I'm going with Texas.
Okay. Hook 'em horns, he says.
Hook 'em
Leon.
horns. I'm a big fan of ground and pound. I like the way Michigan played last year. I do. I'm going to. You know what? I think they're going to put it in the hands of the offensive line to get it done. I'm going to take Michigan at home in the big house.
Do you think they went out right, or are you just taking the points?
I'm going to take the points.
Oh, no. I thought you said Michigan, no?
Yeah, he's taking Michigan the points.
All right, just making sure. I'm trying to confuse him just a little bit. Matty, where are you at with this one?
So, I told you guys I think Texas is going to find out quickly that it's a different life in this new league they're in. This is going to be the start of it.
Okay.
I don't think Michigan wins outright, but I think it's going to be a very, very too close for comfort game for Texas.
It is. Because, like we said, it is the first time in a long time, about a decade and a half, that they have been a favorite on the road against a top 10 opponent. I'm still taking hook 'em horns. I'm hooking 'em horns.
You're laying that line?
Yeah, I'm laying 7.5. All right. So you have got.
I just think Michigan's going to get a turnover. They're going to get a short field. They're going to score like that.
Yeah.
It's not going to be enough. I think Texas is going to win the game, but Michigan will cover with that number.
All right, so let's kick it over to the NFL real quick as we switch up the music and get down to our NFL picks. 3 of them. We still got to make our Jaguars pick before we are done. But let's go to Sao Paulo, Brazil, which is as big as New York. It's got like 11 million people down there. It's a massive place. 2.5-point spread. Philadelphia's favored. Coach, who you like? Actually, I know you don't like Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But who do you like in this game?
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm hearing way too much excitement for the Green Bay Packers. I'm going with Philadelphia.
All right, he goes Eagles.
They're home. They're not at home, but they're at home.
I'm with you, Coach. They're like the media darlings. Now, they sicken me like the Texans.
You guys jumping on my
I'm sick of that. I'm sick of all that love they get. I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles.
You're sick of all the love,
Yeah,
huh?
I am tired. Yeah, no pun intended.
You know what I am? It's Christ the Redeemer, baby, which is all about love.
No.
So I'm going with Jordan Love.
You're going with the love?
I'm going with Jordan
By
Love.
the way,
you're on that boat, aren't you?
I'm on it, man.
Isaac's your bartender, huh?
It's such
love boat.
It's a tough line. It's less than a field goal, but I want to watch the drama unfold in Philadelphia between Sirianni and Jalen Hurts.
This is going to be a
out.
season-long thing.
They have got them a hell of a roster, but I'm going to go ahead and take Green Bay as well. I wish it was a field goal, but it is only 2.5. Oh, but that's the side that I'm going to get on.
Remember, we were 3-3. They were 1-5, so don't worry about it.
He's like already talking trash.
Oh, yeah.
We're 1 week in, bro.
They're 2 games up. They're 2 games up. All right, Houston at Indy, big.
Houston at Indy.
Houston is given a field goal.
Houston's giving a field goal. Wow. You know what? I'm gonna go with Anthony Richardson. I'm gonna take the Colts at home. Yes.
Okay, I like that. I like that, Coach.
Not even a hesitation. Colts.
And listen, this is the battle between the hated Texans and the hated Colts. So this is not an easy one, Matty.
You guys know how I feel about the Colts.
Yeah, you like the Colts.
I think the Colts are going to win big in this game.
All right, I'm going to, as a result of all of this, I'm going to take the Houston Texans.
Okay? Go ahead.
I can't help it.
No.
I am going to take the Houston Texans.
You'll be further behind.
With all that in mind. Dallas at Cleveland, another close game. This is only 2.5 points. Cleveland home laying 2.5 points. Coach.
Dallas.
I should have known that. Coach and the Cowboys.
Is this in Jerry's world? Is it in
No,
Jerry?
it's Cleveland.
All right,
Oh, well. I'm going to take the Browns.
Okay. All right. Matty, or I'll go ahead and jump in. I'm taking the Cowboys. I'm grabbing points. Might as well. Because I don't know what Deshaun Watson is all about right now.
No, better not hope the Cowboys win that game because then that makes the Browns desperate coming in here in week 2.
Very true. Very true. I'll go Bizarro Joe.
What is it? 2.5?
Yeah,
they're giving up 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this is Deshaun's. This is his stand. Make a stand, a line in the sand moment. This is it for him. I think he's a different quarterback this year.
Okay.
So I'm going with the Browns. I'm laying.
All right,
2.5.
we got him in. We will find out how we do. We play against the spread. Okay, we're tough guys on XL Primetime. Frangie and them, there's fluff picks on that afternoon show.
They're not even picks.
Yeah,
it's just entertainment. All that
exactly.
is.
It's like we know. We're
know. Literally giving you information to go lay some cash down.
Lay some points. All right, we'll keep it going. We're going to wrap up our show. Mokama Beer Company right here on South 8th in Fernandina, and then we will hand it off to the Frangie Show and Rick Ballou. Both of them are going to be blazing in the 4 o'clock hour.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010 XL. Jenkins Genesis of Northeast Jacksonville is now open, and you're invited in as a VIP to tour the all-new facility. Be one of the first 100 people to check out the complete lineup of luxury vehicles by September 8th and see if you can crack the code to win a brand new car. See dealer for details. No purchase necessary. Genesis of NortheastJacksonville.com. And now open on Atlantic Boulevard. Genesis, where luxury is redefined.
Introducing Gatorade Water. Alkaline and electrolyte infused for great taste. Gatorade Water, always in motion.
Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. For the athletes who give everything, nothing beats Gatorade, the studied, tested, and proven fuel of the world's greatest athletes. Gatorade Water, proudly supporting high school sports on the First Coast.
Jags fans, a new Everbank Performance account could be your ticket to London this October. Through the Everbank London Getaway, one lucky winner and a guest will receive round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and a pair of tickets to see the Jags play in London. To learn more and for official rules, visit everbank.com/London. No person necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of 50 United States and D.C. 18 or older. Entry period for the Everbank London Getaway Suites is from 8/5/24 to 9/5/24. To enter and for official rules, alternate method of entry, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/London. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank N.A.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. Woolsey Morecambe is your MVP in the legal game. Our team of skilled attorneys tackle personal injury cases with compassion and expertise. With fumbles like a car or truck accident, we're here to seek the compensation you deserve. Right here in Jacksonville, we've successfully won over $100 million and earned a championship-worthy record. When it's game time, you want a team that plays to win. Contact Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY. Offices, Jacksonville.
Pregame Friday is brought to you by MyBookie and Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here, and it's time to beat Big Joe. Each week, my buddy Big Joe from Bono's Barbecue will pick 10 college football games. Pick more wins than Big Joe that week. You'll get entered into a drawing to win a $25 Bono's gift card. If you pick more wins than Joe all season long, you'll be entered to win the grand prize: 2 tickets to the SEC Championship game, 2 tickets to the Dr. Pepper tailgate party, and $1,500. Enter to win on the Bono's app. The contest ends on November 23rd. Grand prize winner will be named on the 25th. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 6th, Baltimore Orioles' Eddie Murray hits 500th career home run, becoming the 3rd player in Major League Baseball history to have both 500 home runs and 3,000 hits.
Denny Thompson here. If you want to work with new tech security cameras or home automation, Tyson Sound & Security is a growing company looking for you now. Tyson is now hiring for sales, technician, and administrative positions. You'll start at the industry's most competitive pay, and they will train you. Apply online at TysonSoundandSecurity.com or call 762-1000. Tyson Sound & Security hiring sales, technicians, and administrative. Call 762-1000. Equal opportunity employer.
15,000 workers. I'm Brian Rose from Remedy Staffing. We survey 15,000 blue-collar workers each year to better understand what drives quality and dependability in our workforce. The survey shows when looking for a new job, the initial pay rate, job security, and safety while working are the most important factors for hourly workers. If you're an employer and would like to learn more about the voice of the blue-collar worker, please call us at 904-528-1933.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
We're back
Mia here, and winning season is back. Football is back, and MyBookie is here to make sure you're ready to cash in on the action. This season, MyBookie is pulling out all the stops with incredible promotions, like weekly risk-free boosts on Thursdays, where you can bet without a sweat. If your bet hits, you win big. If it doesn't, forget it. MyBookie will refund your wager. That's just the beginning, folks. MyBookie is giving away hundreds of thousands in prizes with their Super, Survivor, and Squares contests. Get your entries in now for your shot at huge cash rewards. For a limited time, they are bringing back the double deposit bonus. When you're ready to get started, just use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit. You heard that right. Double your money with promo code 1010XL before you even place a bet. Not to mention, loyalty pays off with MyBookie Plus. The more you play, the more you win. Climb through tiers of loyalty rewards programs to unlock even more epic promotions. Only with MyBookie.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jaguars signed veteran center Mitch Morse to a 2-year free agent contract back in March. Morse takes over in 2024 after Luke Fortner was the Jaguars center the past 2 seasons. Morse spent the first 4 years of his NFL career with the Chiefs and the last 5 seasons with the Bills. Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson spoke this morning about the benefit of having a veteran center in Week 1.
It helps. I think it just brings, that experience, maybe calms the guys down a little bit.
Jags, Dolphins, Sunday at 1 on 1010XL. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, well, my takeaway is that 48 hours from now, we're going to find out a lot about this team. The game will be over. And all this offseason, what did we talk about? This team having an identity, what kind of culture, what kind of team is it going to be? It's going to be very interesting to see how this team starts the season. They got to start the season fast. I want them to be physical on both sides of the ball, execute, convert on third downs and big plays. That's what I'm expecting. Anything other than that, I'm going to be disappointed.
My takeaway is that I'm just excited that everything's going to get going. I think the off season is way too long for me. When it's game week, it's on, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this team does with everybody in America picking the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I think you can't let last season bleed over to this year. And I've been thinking Dolphins all along, and I think the Jags are going to go down there and win this thing. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close. But if you lose and you lose poorly, and all of a sudden those same questions start creeping in now, that's a bad thing, especially with a very difficult game in Week 2. And then 2 more after that. So, this is almost like a must-win for them.
Oh, the first 4 games are 3 of them against playoff teams on the road. Okay, that's a hell of a tough way to start
heavy
your
lifting.
year. All 4 playoff teams. My takeaway is I'm going to channel my inner Rob Schneider. You can do it, okay? That's basically what it is you can do it. And you've got to go down there and prove who you are. Both of these teams have been challenged in terms of, are you physical enough to win important ball games against good football teams? And if you guys watched the game last night, that was a hell of a physical game. So 60 minutes of ball, Leon. And I don't think you can learn everything about a team after Week 1, but you're right. You're going to find out at least what direction they're heading.
Yeah, you want to play well because you want carryover. If the Jaguars go out there and execute the way they want to execute with running the football and big plays down the field, and then on the defensive side we're pressuring to it, getting sacks, getting turnovers, that's carry over to Week 2, and you're at home. So it's important that they play well in this game. Very important.
Plus that momentum too, man.
Yeah.
Because if you play well, you go on the road, you win in Week 1, which is very difficult to do. You go down there and get that win. Imagine the momentum and the confidence that puts into that locker room.
You talk
here
about
we go.
You talk about the confidence because you never know what's going to happen in the first game. And if things go your way, that's a big picture of who you are.
Plus, confidence is still, I don't care. People say it's college stuff. No, it's not, man. No. I don't care how old you are. The confidence is still a big deal. Am I not right?
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Because you build a momentum and you got confidence. And then the coordinator, the play caller, if he's calling plays and you're making plays, yeah, he's got more confidence.
Yeah, then he gets a little more aggressive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's on both sides. That's the offense coordinator and the defense coordinator.
Well, I believe that both Press and Trevor can make the other one feel good. Press has to call a better play, and Trevor's got to execute a better play. And I do think they can feed off each other. I think we're going to see a more successful, not necessarily all short passing game, but success in the short passing game, using those little areas, using Tank and ETN out of the backfield, getting Evan Ingram. Look at those. Just if you go back, and this was something interesting, Coach, maybe you can hit this, because Pat Mahomes said leading up to that game last night, everyone wants to talk about the deep ball. Everyone wants to see it go down the field. He goes, we started breaking it down, him and Andy Reid, and they said there's just so many plays to be made in these short little open areas, soft zones, because before zone troubled Mahomes, and apparently he's figured some of that out.
Well, yeah, there's no question. I mean, I think it all goes hand in hand. I want to see exactly what you're talking about. I want to see him run the ball. I want to see him hit the crossing routes and those kind of things. The run game will set up the play action to get the ball down the field. It doesn't have to be just a takeoff down the field. It's deep passes. So if we get enough big plays mixed in with a good drive, we're going to win the football.
Dave, explain the idea of the short stuff that Joe was talking about, how it's available. The idea in the NFL, specifically in the NFL, is make them have to run more plays, because if they do, more times than not, you're going to get a tip ball, you're going to get a guy getting hit and you fumble, you may get an interception. So you can give up the short stuff, right? You just can't give up anything behind you.
That's the key, and that's why I'm saying from an offensive standpoint, I want at least one big play in there.
Right.
Because you win with the big plays. Yeah. If you got to drive the ball all the time, too many opportunities to mistake.
Yeah, because Mahomes is a master at whatever you're not giving him. Most other ones struggle with things being taken away from them. He does not. And so they basically said, we're not going to let you beat us. And all he did was he just kept slipping it to Rashee Rice, who, by the way, still hasn't been suspended. Who knows what's going to happen with that. They wanted to let that investigation be complete before they made any ruling. Meanwhile, Zay Jones got zapped for however many games with no presses, no charges.
Well, to be fair, I mean, Zay it took a year for them to figure that out.
Well, I know, but still no charges pressed against him. Just a little bit of a Bush League move by the National Football League. I think we would, at least that's how I feel. All right, so anyway, real quick, Doug Peterson was asked the question, can you find out how good you are in week one? Here was his answer.
You watched the game last night. It was Baltimore, Kansas City. I think in their minds, they think they're a good football team. I think everybody week one thinks they're a good football team, and so it gives you confidence, obviously, going into the game and going into these early games. But you still have to go. You still have to go execute. You still have to go play and perform and eliminate mistakes and you're going to have to overcome adversity and all of that. But I think in your mind going into it, you feel good about where you're at.
Well, we'll find out. But he's right. Is that Baltimore not 100% measured by who they were last night?
He sounds like he's in I got to see it to believe it mode right there.
Yeah.
He's not completely, which is fine. I like that. Look, we all saw what happened the last month and a half of the season. Mm-hmm. Everybody should be in all believe it when I see it mode.
Yeah, but he's going to make sure that he gets what he needs to get out of him.
Yeah.
Where's the thing? When I was a player, I never liked paper champions. I never liked when people came up to me and said, "This team is." You got to show me. You got to show me. I don't care what you did last year. I don't care how many points you scored, how many touchdowns. Yeah. This is a whole new season. Yeah. So if the Jaguars are taking care of their business, you can't worry about what they're doing. Let them do what you take care of your business. You execute the way you've been executing in the preseason and training camp. It's all going to take care of itself.
I wish there were paper champions because I'd be in Vegas right now putting everything I had in the Super Bowl.
There you go.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. All you want to do is see some shine coming up, because if you can see that, because that's really what it's all about, both sides of the ball. What does Ryan Nielsen represent? How much improvement will you see on the defensive side of the ball? What does Eric Armstead represent? Ronald Darby, who has played against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle in a Ravens uniform, and probably a couple of others. He knows all of these guys have got to get into position to make plays, make memorable plays instead of make moments for the other guys. All right, with that, let's make a moment with the embedded and shredded right now.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers. Discover BioTarget Regenerative Therapy, a safer drug-free solution for lasting pain relief. Visit GoBioTarget.com.
So am I to understand that the embedded and shredded is paired up with the Truth Teller? Is that what's happening? Is that how we're shaking it out?
Yes. Demolition is back. And Jacksonville might never be the same again. We'll see. But how about this? We got a ball game on Sunday.
Dude, I'm fired up, Hayes. We all are fired up. We're going to make our picks before we say goodbye, but I feel like we're going to get a good game. I feel like we're going to see a new and improved offense as much as we might see a new and improved defense. And when I say that, I mean run game and a cleaner, smarter game from Trevor.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you hope so, at least. I do think it's a favorable matchup for the Jaguars because it's not a street fight. That's not how the Dolphins play. It's two finesse teams, and I think the Jaguars are going to have a physicality advantage, which I don't know that you're going to see week in and week out, but I think Trayvon Walker, Josh Hines-Allen are going to have trouble with that, or I think they're going to give trouble to Tua and that Dolphins offensive line. I think everything's going to be very quick for Miami. So, it's going to be interesting if you're these corners, Tyson Campbell, Ronald Darby, because you got to respect Hill and Waddle and the deep speed, but I think a lot of it's going to be real short and immediate, take advantage of that cushion. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a wildly entertaining game. But, yeah, if Trevor Lawrence plays a clean game, I expect his versatile weapons to really have a day. So I like the Jaguars in the game, but obviously we'll break it down from every angle coming up. We're going to start off the show with Frank Frangie talking with Doug Peterson. So Frank will have that for us in the first segment. And then Rick and I will be off and running from here at Jenkins Hyundai. And you can come by and see us. The Jaguars are getting us revved up. And I got a chance to catch up with Foye Oluwakan in the locker room about an hour and a half ago, so we'll have that interview as well. So lots coming up as we get ready to kick off another hopefully wonderful Jaguar season.
I love it, man. I love it. Look forward to it. All right, Hayes, thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Hayes, Carline, Rick Ballou.
Let me leave you something before we go here. Bet Online, they're talking about bet percentages, and the Jaguars' number is 8.5 wins, right? 80% of the bets on the Jags are taking the over. 80%.
Okay, so that means they lowered the number enough that they like it, so that's a positive. They've been 9-8 the last 2 years. Who we like in this game? You ready to make your prediction? Searcy's pointing over to coach. He's like,
it's easy for me. 28-24.
Okay.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Sirs?
I got the Jaguars 26, and I got the Dolphins 23.
Okay, so another very close game.
I'm right there with you guys. I got 27-24 Jags.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know whether that many points are going to go on the board. Look, I'm all a Duval. I'm wearing teal right now, so I'm thinking Jacksonville. The 904 leaves the 305 with a W, and I like 24-21. It's going to be a close game, but maybe not as many points. So we'll see where it goes. But homered up, maybe. But we at least like what we've seen here from the 904 heading down there. It's going to be fun, that's for sure. We had a great time here, lots of fun. We say thanks to Mocama Beer Company, Ernest, Casey, all of them here. They were great hosts to us. And by the way, the kitchen on top of the craft beer, you can definitely enjoy both of them. You can enjoy it any day, craft Tuesday through Sunday, coffee every day of the week. And then, of course, watch your Jaguar football if you're up here in beautiful Fernandina Beach here or at their Wildlight location. We are done. We got the Frangie Show with Hayes and Rick coming up. Joe C., Matty Hayes, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Brenda, Big Sirs, Coach Campo. We had a great time here at Mocama Beer Company. Thank you, RJ. We'll send it back.
Come on, Joe. That ain't good enough. You got to